All right, Jen, the floor is yours.
All right, so we're gonna start our meeting. So Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee on Tuesday, May 6th. We'll start with the land acknowledgement. I acknowledge with respect that we are in Robinson Huron Treaty territory, that the land on which we are gathered is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and known as Bawatting. Bawatting is the home of Garden River First Nation, Batchewana First Nation, the historic Sault Ste. Marie Métis Council. So moving on to item number 2, adoption of minutes from our meeting on Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. Are there any edits or additions to the agenda that anybody identified? No? Can I have a mover for the adoption of minutes? Okay. Jonathan? And a seconder. Tracy. Okay, item number 3, declaration of pecuniary interest. Does anybody have anything to declare? Okay, seeing nothing, we can move on to item number 4, adoption of agenda. I hope everyone's had a chance to review. Are there any additions to the agenda? Okay, seeing none, can I have a mover? Aria, thank you. And a seconder? Okay, Luke can second. Thank you. So resolved that the agenda for Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting for May 6th, 2025 as presented be approved. And I apologize, I didn't read that statement for the minutes. So resolve the minutes of Park and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting of April 1st, 2025 be approved. Okay, moving on to item number 5, business arising. And 5.1 park development update. So Yari, I will turn the floor over to you.
Yep, so that's me. So just building on what we informed you guys of last meeting, Wilcox Park will be going to RFP. You've submitted that information, so we're putting a tender out for the playground equipment, flooring, what have you. With the possibility of adding a second park, should our funding sources come through for that. But Wilcox will be a go. The scoreboard at Rocky DiPietro Field is looking to be installed somewhere between June 16th and 19th that week. So that was a partnership with Sioux College as they start their CJFL team. We're updating the scoreboard with some of the money they've provided us. The goalposts, which we need to upgrade as well, are going to be coming in at a later date, likely July, before their season starts in August. Great news, fields for athletics will be opening on May 20th. That's the first Tuesday after the Labor Day weekend as per tradition. So that's our soccer fields, ball diamond fields, and what have you. Any field that maybe hasn't dried out quite enough will shift as needed, but May 20th is our to-go date. Just looking briefly at the minutes from last, I think that was everything. The other things I can touch on during our upcoming events in 7.1.
Okay, so will that address the grand openings that we
Yes,
talked about?
yeah.
Perfect. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding this agenda item, park development updates? Tracy.
Parks in general. So yeah, I have a question. I was out on Cora Road.
Mhm.
And I know we've had an exceptionally bad winter for snow and I know our ground is wet, but I drove by a park and went by it again. Is there any plan when you look at parks and you look at these neighborhoods where it's been a long winter and kids are just dying to get out and play? But this park, the playground equipment was just underwater. So is there any plan when you look at parks to look at the disbursement of the ground and where some parks need to be maybe backfilled so that the playground equipment is not underwater like it was? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so this,
Like
obviously we had an exceptional amount of snow this year.
Mhm.
And then we kind of had a late melt to it, a slow melt to it, because we didn't get that real warm temperature. I'll be interested to see how the park kind of dries out over this week now that we have some high temperatures. When we do any type of park revitalization, there is grading work that gets done. traditionally, I'm sure our parks team is aware which parks drain better than others, so if we are to revitalize a park and we're digging up anyways, I could see them adding drainage. Or gravel, or what have you, to help with kind of the water accumulation. So definitely Park on Cora Road. If that was to come up for revitalization in the next couple of years and we're constantly dealing with water in the spring, that would be definitely something that we'd address.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if that was kind of on the radar when you're doing a park assessment, do we look at that kind of stuff? It was just kind of shocking to me, that's all, but I know we've had a bad winter, I know that it's been it's a lot of rain, so it was just a question.
Yeah, definitely. It would have to be, like I said, this is kind of a one-off winter and spring, so I think if it was a consistent issue, it definitely would be addressed. Which is like, for example, I think I mentioned last month, Queen E.B. Field at Queen Elizabeth Sports Complex, you know, where the oval is made, basically, the skating oval. We're doing significantly ground work there for drainage because we were having so much issues with water accumulating. So, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or comments about this particular agenda item? I just have one quick question,
Yeah.
Yuri, people are out on the Hub Trail now, I noticed, I was out last night, I noticed some of the signs are faded, is that something we look at and address like the directional signs? Some of them were,
Yes, that can be something I can bring up to the Parks Department.
okay,
Yeah.
I just noticed, cause, yeah,
Yeah.
just to help people
No, definitely,
navigate.
definitely.
Okay,
They're starting to show their age.
they are. So am I, but that's okay. Item number 6, subcommittee task force updates.
Nothing.
Okay, there's nothing under that agenda item, so now we're moving on to agenda item number 7, new business. First, 7.1, June is Park and Recreation Month, so Yari, I will turn it over to you again.
Yep, so June is Park and Recreation Month. So that's June is always some time that we focus on getting active, getting outdoors, doing things people enjoy. We'll do a social media post in the city. This is something that every city does. It's a Canadian-wide event. June Park and Recreation Month. That's why we have so many upcoming events in June, which I can cover in 7.2.
Okay. Any questions for this, or are we okay to move on to 7.2 and get some more details? All right, 7.2, Yari, upcoming event.
All right, so our first one, just the way the week worked out. Our first event is actually May 31st, the pump track event. I believe some of you have volunteered with Verge to help her out with that. If anyone else is available, reach out to Virginia. She'd be more than happy to have lots of hands. This is kind of one of the events that the track committee kind of joins in. So basically, this is at the pump track event out by Esposito Park. There'll be bike safety, helmet safety, lots of community groups. The Sioux Cycling Group comes, lots of business sponsors come and join us. Free giveaways, free education. It's a fun time for all. Moving into park grand openings, we have 3 openings coming up. The Kiwanis Park recently renamed from Rosedale Park, which we met on February about. That grand opening is going to be May 14th at 2:30 p.m. You're all invited. We'll send out an invite for that. That's going to be lots of games, giveaways. We'll have some snacks and stuff for the kids. We'll try to get the local community involved. Moving into June, we're going to have 2 openings in 1 week, and this is Westwood and Parkland. Those were the 2 parks we revitalized last year. So we're partnering with the schools next door, Holy Family at Westland, and obviously Parkland beside Parkland. June 9th is Westwood, 1 p.m. June 13th is Parkland at 1 p.m. Once again, we'll include the schools. We'll have members of council. I believe the mayor will be there to say a few words. And that will be to debut the new parks. Tri Sport Week, putting on the final touches. We're going to do that June 2nd to 6th, and if needed, we'll roll some dates over into the following week just to see how many community groups. Once again, we're going to focus on individual sports, things people can do on their own, doesn't necessarily need a team or other people to do, as well as relatively low cost. Bike to Work Week's coming again. Bike to Work Week always kicks off with the pump track event as the first event. And then we'll have items put through throughout the week for people that are due to compete. We'll have some prizes as well. Details will be posted on social media in the coming week or two.
All right. Any questions or comments? The chair recognizes Graham.
Hey Jen, where is the schedule for the try a sport week gonna be posted, right?
So we'll post that on social media as well, so you're gonna see it on the city Facebook page, city Instagram. I'll more than likely share it with you guys via an email, just so you're aware as well.
Do you know when that'll be finalized?
I'm meeting with my staff member on Thursday, so probably sometime the following week.
Perfect. Thanks, Sherry. Graham, anything else? Okay, the chair recognizes Paul.
Thank you. Is this group responsible for programming the downtown plaza?
Plaza was under my portfolio until recently, and now we have the plaza under specific downtown plaza supervisor. There is some overlap. We do a lot more cultural events there, music, that kind of thing. We could use it in the sense that like one of the tri-sport events we're thinking of doing is roller skating, where we're going to use the skating pad at the plaza. So there is some overlap there. When it comes to day-to-day programming, not as much, but when it comes to if we can use it for a recreational need, then we do have some ability to use the site.
Okay, thank you. Let me be more specific. Last year, the city was supposed to run a Thursday night beer and social event. Your answer kind of scares me because the plaza is sort of falling through the cracks. If you remember, it's about an $11 million investment, which met with a lot of pushback. The event that they offered last year, the Thursday night event, I went to one, and I was the only person there. As a matter of fact, the staff that were working that event didn't even know that there was something scheduled that night. So where I'm going with this, if this group is not responsible definitively for programming the plaza, I need to know who is.
Yeah, so we did hire.
As a former counselor, I know what went into it, the money that went into it, and we're letting this slip through the cracks, and it's shameful.
So what we've done recently is hired someone specifically for the plaza for that exact reason. So he's been doing a lot more programming for it recently. They have their Facebook page specifically for the Sioux Downtown Plaza that you can follow with all the events. And then Paul, I can get you in contact with that person specifically to discuss some ideas.
Sure, that would be fantastic, because I understand digital media and promotion didn't work last year.
Yeah, so
I would appreciate.
Yeah, so that's why we hired someone with a specific skill set that would be targeted more for events of that nature, outdoor events, concerts, all that fun stuff.
Okay.
That's what the plaza was designed for.
Thank you. I'd appreciate that as soon as you can get it to me.
Yeah, I'll get that to you, Paul, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments regarding 7.2 upcoming events?
I was contacted by someone from the Northern Center about, she mentioned something about Tri-Sport Week and then participation, as I talked about last time as well. She wants me to do 2 weeks in June as far as participation, but also mentioned Tri-Sport, so I don't know if there's a connection or not.
Yeah, we'll talk to you, Lou. That's one of my staff members.
Okay.
We can clarify that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've also been in touch with Eileen at the Active Living Center about that as well, because we were looking at extending my group, because I'll be out starting on Saturday for 4 weeks to Active Living with the walk in Bellevue Park.
Yeah.
It's called Move and Mingle. And then I'm gonna just tack on 2 more weeks to be part of participation after that. That hasn't been confirmed or anything, but but the thing is they want to have everybody registered through the city for insurance reasons and so on.
Okay, so Yari, you can follow
Yeah,
up with
I'll
Lou?
talk with Lou.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments?
Just one comment on the, to Paul's concern there. I don't know who was promoting the Elbows Up event, but I did go to that
Mhm.
and it was very, very busy. And it was quite an afternoon, actually. A lot of people, everyone there was, really enjoyed participating in that. It went on for quite a long time, though, and there was other bands and people started to peter out. The wind was cool and that, but I was quite impressed by the turnout.
That feedback's great, thank you. Anything else for 7.2? Okay, seeing nothing else, we are now moving on to 7.3, the Sport Hall of Fame selections. So Yuri, I'm gonna turn it over to you just to clarify, this is a closed session, so we will have to stop our YouTube. Stream while we are in closed session, but we will return once we are completed that agenda item.
Okay, so basically we go into closed session as per quoted. We're discussing individuals on a private matter, so with that, we can go into closed session as per the municipal act. So all we need is a mover or seconder.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. We'll close this chat off to the public. We'll stop the live stream, but then we can continue to discuss. Members of the public will find out who we've nominated in the fall.
So can I have a mover to move into closed session? Stephanie, and a seconder, Paul? Thanks. So resolved that the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee proceed into closed session to debate the merits of the nominees of the Sport Hall of Fame. And further be it resolved that should the said closed session be adjourned, the committee may reconvene in closed session to continue to discuss the same matter without the need for further authorizing resolution. And this is related to personal matters about an identifiable individual and section 239 3B of the Municipal Act.
All right, and I'm gonna end the live stream.
Okay.